There are millions of people who sleep with an empty stomach. There are a lot of young people in the millions who've got no jobs. You know what it's like to not have money especially when you're a dude with a family.
With a family.
Dude, it strips you of your dignity.
If we're not doing anything about the crime, we are sowing a seed. If we are not doing anything about the corruption, we are sowing a seed.
Totally.
And that seed will germinate.
There isn't hope if things continue the same way. Right? Number one. Number two, where are you seeing this hope come from? Is it going to come from the sky somewhere? Is a hero going to... It won't get us anywhere as Africans to continue being nice with this economy that's not treating us right. And I'm not talking about looting. I'm talking about...
Welcome to another edition of Mindset Profits. Today I am bringing a sales coach, a business coach, an app developer, a producer. I don't know if you're a DJ, but
soon.
We're going to talk about just getting your A game up in sales, just having a sales advantage. And it happens to be the title of his new book. He has written 8 books. This is book number 8.
This is book number 8 that's finished, yes.
Book number 8, the A-Game Sales Advantage. But we're not going to just talk sales because he's an amazing coach. I've had the opportunity of hanging with him in mentorship circles and just listening to some of the insights, which is good, man. It's always good to hang with brothers in the space, sharing so much value beyond just business, because we're building beyond just for business. We're building people totally. To live more empowered lives out there.
Yeah, we're building legacy, yeah?
Man, yeah, you're starting off nicely. I'm I'm getting that feeling.
Amazing. Thank you, man. I just want to tell you publicly that I really look up to you. You're one of very few people. I have very high standards, Dando. I'm sure you know.
I can tell.
Right?
They can tell listening as well.
They know. Mangas guy. Especially my clients.
Is it?
Some of whom I fire.
Let's jump in, man. Let's jump right in. I want to shock people up front and throw in some of the heavy stuff.
Let's do it.
Right up front.
Yeah.
I had an interview with you on radio. Someone asked you a question and your answer to that question shocked even me, I must say. I was like, eh?
I saw it.
The question was, is there hope? Because we were talking about the challenge that the community in South Africa especially is having. A lot of young people struggling, unemployment high in the townships, jobs hard to come by, entrepreneurs trying and failing. And the question to you was, is there hope for the future? And you said no.
Okay. You don't know how much I've thought about that question since, eh? and I'm convinced that my position was right, and you're gonna enjoy the answer.
When you're saying you thought about it after the interview, now I'm thinking maybe you were going to say I've changed my perspective.
Oh no!
So you're still there?
I'm still there.
Let's go.
So maybe just for the benefit of our audience, because.
They were not Case
in point, I was terrible with my own bio. so let me just finish that part so that then it makes sense, I think, when I speak to the answer.
Beautiful.
Cool. So I'm a business coach. I'm a business strategist. I help businesses of all sizes to formulate strategies of how they are going to win in their industries, and as well as to implement the processes and systems that's going to help them to win. And of course, to look after the people, yeah?
Yeah.
And for small, medium businesses or small, medium enterprise owners, entrepreneurs, essentially, we help them to build profitable, sustainable, self-managing businesses, right? So it is through those eyes that I gave the answer.
Go deep.
Starting with that first part, which is business strategist, which you are, which I know you will understand, right? When you are sitting with a client, Dando, or with a coach like myself who needs to report to you, and we've put our plans together,
a growth plan
together, my friend, right? We may not have one, us, right? We did have one. I don't know if it still exists, the NDP, which is 2030, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of those formal plans, let's say siyakhuluma family, or we are a community. And we've been talking for 50 years or 30, let's make it 30 years. How's that?
Yeah.
Right?
It was Vision 2030 for the government, at least.
Yeah. So when you look at where you are, right? Let's say you haven't done anything in 30 years and we've got a 50-year or 40-year plan. You've squashed everything that you and I have discussed, right? You take drugs, you commit crime, kids don't go to school, you blow the money, you bring in your criminal friends, you know what I mean? So when you ask me, after 30 years of witnessing that crap, so when you say, what do I hope is going to happen? When I look at the situation, right?
When you're looking at the crime,
Yeah.
the money gone, the
Yeah.
job losses.
You know what I mean? Which is decline. It's in decline. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Our job creation numbers are in decline. Have been, especially over the last couple of years. But here's the sweetener, and maybe this is more for you than it is for the audience, unless you speak leadership strategy language, like your lead indicators. Bro, if your lead indicators don't look right, do you still have hope? Do you still hope?
I get it, but let's explain it to someone who doesn't speak strategy and stuff.
Cool. Maybe let me wrap it up. I'd love for you to explain it. Let me wrap up just my own thoughts, right?
All right, cool.
So the reason why I said, is there hope? When you guys asked me, is there hope? And I said no, right? I was saying there isn't hope if things continue the same way, right? Number one. Number two, where are you seeing this hope come from? Is it going to come from the sky somewhere? Is a hero going to come out somewhere and save us? Like when we talk hope, what do we mean? When I talk hope, I mean the effort and the energy, the plans, everything that we are putting in. What do they tell us we're going to achieve at the end of the day? If we continue the same way, that's how much hope I believe in.
So your position of zero hope was looking at, as you're calling it, the lead indicators. And I think you did explain what they are now, although you might have moved so fast that someone who doesn't know the word lead indicator, it just can go over their head. I think you're saying, maybe in simple language, success is predictable. Poverty is predictable. And there are things you are doing, seeds that you are sowing, seeds of poverty. And if you're looking at what we are doing as a society and as an economy and thinking, if we are sowing seeds of poverty, what can we hope for?
Thank you.
If we're not doing anything about the crime, we are sowing a seed. If we are not doing anything about the corruption, we are sowing a seed.
Totally.
And that seed will germinate.
Totally.
And it will yield results later. So your zero hope position is, I don't see anything changing in how things work.
Yes.
That gives me hope that 2030, 2040 is going to look any different.
Yeah.
In fact, I see enough in society to freak me out.
Totally. The thing is, if we look at where we need to be, we've got a baseline we're not meeting, my friend. You know that, right? There are millions of people who sleep with an empty stomach. There are a lot of young people in the millions who've got no jobs. You know what it's like to not have money especially when you're a dude with a family.
With a family.
Dude, it strips you of your dignity, like completely. There's very few things that can happen in your life that will make you feel good about yourself. And what do we do when we don't feel good about ourselves? We do bad stuff, right? And so all I'm saying is we have a baseline, and that baseline, we maybe have 3 or 4, okay? Let me start with the fact that we live in the most unequal society in the world.
Painful and sad.
Right? Now, let's call that the below zero baseline we are at, because we got to reach 0 or 1. Right?
Yeah.
And then the prosperity and the wealth, and right? And I don't mean all of us as Africans living like kings. I mean not having to worry that my next door neighbor has got no food and the kids are going to go hungry,
and what they're going to do because of it.
Right? Or if I go to sleep, You know, is someone going to jump over the fence, right? That kind of thing. We have multiple levels that we gotta achieve. Just in closing, my thought is we have a lot of work to do.
You went to climb Kilimanjaro
Yes, I
to
did.
prove a point.
Yes, I did.
I'm curious. Let's talk through that. What was the aim?
So
how far back was this?
this was 2013. Literally 2013 September, because I went August, September. I summited in September. Yeah.
What was the aim? What was the big goal, big
So-
picture around it?
So for a few years before 2013, right? Let's say maybe 5 years before that. So around 2008, right? That's when I went full time into business consulting. Literally, I think 2006 I shut down my record label because I wasn't happy with where it was. It was failing. I actually got divorced, and before divorce I got homeless. 2006 for a few months.
It sounds like my story.
Right? No, I know. I heard you say. I heard you tell people before, right? But I think I'm saying homeless so that people can get it in their minds. Because of how resourceful I was, it didn't take me long to get another place, and it wasn't my own place. Because I've got friends like you, you know, other people who own property. One of them was like, "Yo, I've got a house where people haven't moved in yet. Go chill over there." Right? And I took half of my stuff
To
after
that
getting
house.
kicked out. I went to the house. I lived, and I lived like, you know, like I owned the house, because that's who I am.
How much grace did you have? How long did it give
I
you?
honestly don't remember, but I think it was a few months. Right? It gave me enough time to wrap up at the studio, because I remember during that time, in 2006. Sorry, I'll come back to the climb. Yeah, I remember in 2006, I wasn't happy with the work I was doing. You know, I'll tell the musicians and artists in their face that I felt that they didn't deserve me. You know what I mean? And and by that I mean they were not professional enough. They were not driven enough. You know what I mean? And like me, I'm a strict person. People will tell you I'm strict. I may have dreads and, you know, and be all chilled or whatever the case may be. But like
Standards are high.
my friend, I mean business. I mean business. And so it's not their fault. It was my fault for having certain expectations, right? Even though I'd been in the industry as a kid growing up, you know, thinking as in maybe by the time I go in, I'll work with a group of people that I'd worked with before and we'll get things done. It didn't work. My business failed. I was in there alone, pretty much as somebody who invested full time, you know, because we were different crews, right? Anyway, the point is, I remember asking God for a sign.
Okay.
Yeah. Then one day, got to the studio. Somebody had broken into the studio.
That's the sign you got.
I remember looking at the door before I went in, and I said, "Thank you, God. This is the sign I was waiting for." I pushed the door open. Right? And all there was just paperwork on the floor.
They stole all the equipment.
Nothing. They stole nothing. What I believe to this day, that building is the Reef Hotel in Johannesburg today. That's what it is. It's one of the most beautiful, one of those key hotels in Johannesburg. I think it was just a way to get rid of us. Because during that month, 2-3 months later, they were converting it. I think they had a new buyer by then, and I remember the landlord, not the landlord, but the manager, caretakers were giving me hell. Right? Yo, you gotta move, blah blah blah. I'm like, yo, you know how much I've invested in here, you know, because you gotta soundproof, you gotta buy equipment, you gotta do all of that stuff. There's marketing, right? So all of that stuff is done, and we're on the 13th floor. Just by the way, back in the day. The number 13 in buildings was known to be a bad luck number, but anyway, so much so that it was the 13th floor, but it was called 14th floor. Okay, if you look at old buildings, some of them don't have the 13th floor. So anyway, I then used that time to wrap up the projects I had. So I ended up telling the landlords and the manager, the caretaker, that cool, I'll leave because I got my sign now. And my family is no more, at least not mine anymore, right? And so now I've got a new path to chart. right? And a year or two later, this is 2008, 2009, I had been a consultant for a long time before that. While I was in studio, right, corporate clients would call me and say, KK, we want to work with you. We don't want to work with this company that I worked for. I want to work with you. And so I had registered a business. Literally, I'd be in studio. I'd be doing pay slips for some of my clients because it was payroll. This is pastel payroll. I would be doing some books for some of them, just lightly, right? And so it was an easy decision to make that, as in, this music business is not working, right? Even though we had some great accolades, which maybe next time I come back I'll tell you about, right? And then it was an easy transition. But it's easy transition because I'm a strategist, and I've always been, right? And so when you weigh options like that, it's easy to make a decision like that. Plus,
so the shift wasn't hard because there was going to be revenue from the other business.
Yeah, not just from some of those clients, which were very few clients, I have to say, but it was enough to keep me going because I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't end up on the streets. As homeless as I was, I didn't end up on the streets. But what the point I want to make is because I'd been an entrepreneur, right? And I'd go to the NYDAs and the GEPs of this world with whom I have a love and hate relationship with, and they know why. CEDA, right? We'll talk about that at another time or later if you want to. But I had known about these agencies because I'd been an entrepreneur, and so I would go and apply, right? And so I realized, I'm like, hey, these skills I have, the other businesses need them. Let me just apply anyway and become a service provider. So by the time I had the sign, my friend, one of the things I had in my hand was I like to call it a tender because it's easy for people to understand, but I had become a service provider for NYDA. Not only did I have those few clients, but I had NYDA. And I was a service provider, and I would help small businesses with their payroll and accounting. Done deal.
So the landing was softer.
The landing was softer, but you know why? I was intentional in creating it.
Okay, I get. This is cool.
I'm not claiming that was the plan. It wasn't. It's just no matter where you are, you always gotta, in case something happens.
Funny, when I got divorced and lost everything as well and found myself in that space, I wasn't homeless, but I was staying in a government house with like 500 rent, so I couldn't afford the whole thing. Lucky me, you had a house.
I had, okay. I'm just saying, later I had
I
to
was
work
in
for
one
my
room
rent.
of an RTP,
Yeah.
2 bedrooms and sharing, so I could only afford the one half, and that was for nearly 2 years. So you had months.
When is the book coming out?
It's out.
Bro,
I did.
We need to chat
I'll
some more.
share.
We need to chat more, yeah?
Yeah, but I think for me, I'm looking at that and thinking, goodness, it's so hard to come out of that. And coming out of it for me looked, I think, similar to you. I was working with the CEDAs and the NYDAs and them and making about 10,000 a month. That's what kept me going.
Yeah.
That's actually the money that I used to fix my life.
Nice.
Because,
you, man.
and I always get amazed at how so many people earn more than that, but they still can't fix their lives. So much more. Because 10,000 is not amazing.
Yeah.
Can get you going, but it's not an amazing sum.
So maybe we'll come back to me going back to Akasi recently.
Yeah.
I want to say 10 grand is so much money in the hood. Yeah. And so you and I, of course, we make more than that. But I want to say let's fix this country so that other people can have the 10K. But this is between you and I, right? Because
Challenge
the 10K
accepted.
is a lot of money, for other people, yeah. For a family, it can feed a family for an entire month. Get funeral insurance, get all of these other small things, right? That are basics. Anyway, my friend, it's 2008, 2009. I'm like, there are too many of us. KK, Sam, Bravita, who've been in the game. How am I going to differentiate myself here? Right?
There are too many coaches out there.
You know, the NYDA, CEDA, GEP. Spanning for it.
Yeah, we're many, I know.
Young Zod. And so I'm thinking, how do I differentiate myself? Number two, I don't remember how old I was. I'd have to do the numbers. But I remember thinking, what have I done with my life up to this point? I have a son. I'm divorced. How am I going to redefine myself and reinvent myself? Which is a question I always ask myself. That's partly why I quit at Pastel in 2004, right? I'm always looking at how do we grow? How do I grow? How do I go forward? And more importantly, how do I create impact? By then, I'd been working with hundreds of musicians and artists. I had multiple clients who I'd worked with previously, and now this new journey has presented me with a whole bunch of new clients. And now I'm coaching full time. I'm like, yo, these people, what's happening here? I'm like, I keep talking to them, but they don't hear me. So how do I create my communication
in a way that lands?
Yes, thank you.
What do you think was the block? Because sometimes when I was looking at me communicating to clients, some would listen, but whenever there would be clients that are not listening, maybe it was a self-esteem thing.
Yeah.
But I'd start to look at myself and feel like maybe it's because I'm broke. Maybe it's because they're making more money than me. That's why they can't hear me.
I hear you, and I agree with you in as far as that being a scenario and a set of circumstances, right? I guess around what I'm talking about. But it still happens to today, where as articulate as I'd like to believe I am, I can still talk to people simply, and they just don't get it. So sometimes words will only say so much. It's like Mosekas and especially like right now, like I live in a modest home. I don't have a car. Like I made that decision not to have a car. You know what I mean?
Why?
Dude,
it's another podcast.
I'm a digital I'm a not digital freak as such, or digital like maybe call me a digital nomad, right? Like one of the reasons I remember wanting to tell you on Tuesday. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Yeah, that hey, it's been a while since I drove that time of the day in South Africa. And so it was all new to me after having done that, where I must rush or drive to an appointment at a particular time.
I called you for an evening interview. I had no idea that you're not. I just
No, it doesn't matter. It's got nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
This is not. Yeah, this is more about me and me not having a car and saying I'm more of a digital nomad. I don't need a car. I'm convinced now I don't need a car, and so I'm not going to get one until I can buy a super expensive car that I really want.
Okay.
Right. So what I was trying to say is sometimes in that situation, usekas, utshela umuntu ukuthi mfana, you don't need a car, you don't need a beautiful. They're like, hello,
you're broke.
Yeah, kind of thing. So sometimes even the truth doesn't land as the truth, even when you use the right words. And so I needed to demonstrate it through action, because as a coach, what do we tell people? Follow success principles. These are the principles: plan, persevere, work with the right people, stick with it. Don't try and don't believe Uguti you'll know where every step needs to be in order for you to achieve success. Take the step that you can take today, etc., etc. And they're like, he doesn't know what he's talking. I was like, cool, I'm going to show you that I can apply these principles. I could start another business to say, as in before, we don't have enough money, right? I'm talking as a society now, as a nation. We don't have enough money. Not enough of us have gone to college. Not enough of us have had a corporate job enough for us to know what it's like to own a business, especially if you want to have a corporate or professional business, right? I'm like, cool, I know those things. So if I show you how to start a business, it's gonna feel fake even to me. So here's what I'm gonna do. Because you've never gone to college, and you don't have money to start your own business, and you don't have experience having started one before, I'm gonna put me and you at the same light. I'm gonna do something I have no experience in, and I'm not going to use my money to do it. And I was like, it's going to be the biggest goal that I've ever done at that moment, right? Because I want to challenge myself, I want to reinvent myself, all of these things. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, and I won't use my own money. So
you went to Tanzania without financing the trip?
Yes, without using my own money. It was financed, but it wasn't my own money.
How did you pull that off?
And here's the thing. I've pulled it off multiple times. I'm going to pull it off again now with this app that we've launched, okay, that we are in the process of launching. We're still raising 5 million, right? Okay, in this one, I did pull out of my pocket to make it happen. But the point is, I'm repeating the story. Achieve a massive goal without using your own money. That's what it is, right? Most business people apply that logic. What is your big goal? I want to employ 100 people, right? Yeah. Do you have money? No, I don't. What do you have? Which is one of the things I learned. Your value proposition. What is your value proposition? What value are you providing to others so that they can give you money to start that business or to climb the mountain, right?
What was your value proposition to the people to pull funds enough to take you there?
Thank you.
Because that
Great question. I'm going to give you 2 answers.
Yeah.
For 3 years, I struggled because I gave the wrong answer. It was right for me, but I gave the wrong answer.
Okay.
The wrong answer, which was right to me, but not right for my audience, which is something the audience of this podcast needs to understand. What you think is right from a value proposition is not necessarily a value proposition for the audience or your customers. I said to my potential sponsors at the time, guys, I want to show young people they can achieve massive goals, they can start businesses, they can get jobs, right? I need you guys to
plausible.
help me.
Sounds something something people would say.
We need guys like you in this country. They're like, what's that got to do with us, my friend?
It's your business.
It's your business. This is your goal. This is your vision. This is your purpose. We're not in business to support people just in jail, just because we got money. I got turned down so many times. And
so it didn't work.
It didn't work. Okay. It's because and this was part of the lessons. It's in the book as well, because it was meant to be the journey being written out in the way that it happened, right? So the book talks to that.
Yeah.
And then that's when I realized with time, man, and as much as I want to help young people, South Africans, to grow, to prosper, it's not these people's business. I need to have a value proposition that speaks to them. And as soon as I had that thought, and it came to my mind, and the value proposition that I gave them, multiple companies that ended up sponsoring me, was because I said, look, I will take your company to the highest point on the African continent where no one can take you. I am the only one who can take you there. Don't you want to go there? Everybody said yes.
That is so good.
Same thing. Just the value proposition is articulated in order to suit the audience that I'm speaking to.
And that's the sales advantage.
That's the sales advantage, my friend.
Man, that is so good.
Thank you.
That is so good. That got me.
It got me too. It got me too, my friend.
And
we forget. We forget sometimes, yeah.
That's what you're using now for fundraising, the app.
I've learned so much. One of the things that I've had the privilege of, a lot of people don't know this. People who know me don't know that I'm also acting CEO of a company called the Dealmaker Company. Mm-hmm. It was founded by a lady named Kim Meredith. Kim Meredith, at some point, she was the second highest paid woman on the continent because of her ability to do deals, deal making, negotiate, advance sales. I got to work with her for 13, 15 years.
Nice.
I'm still the youngest and the only African on that team. She chose me to be acting CEO when she retired 5 years ago. So I know how to do deals. Okay. Not too long ago, when I was staying right across the road, 4 ways, I was worth 10 million, earning 100K a month. This was a couple of years ago. Because of my ability to do deals.
KK,
but there are sales and deals. Yeah.
$100K a month and you still don't buy a car?
No, not today.
No, I'm saying in that time.
No, I had a fancy car back then. I had a fancy car and I was planning to buy a Porsche because it was just the Porsche was literally between my house and where I used to work.
All right, so if you lost a gig that big back then, and you're looking at life now, the gap, how do you process that? How do you handle a fall that big?
It's a pertinent question that I don't have an answer to, right? Mm-hmm. Partly because I feel that I was betrayed. I was stabbed in the back with intent. I did sue, but by the time I wanted it to end, I didn't care anymore, right? 3 months later, this was 2020, This is February.
Yeah.
So I've been in digital transformation by then for maybe more than 10 years. Okay. And what have I been selling people? Let people work from home, right? Let people do this. We gotta get ready. I don't know for what.
For the disruption.
Okay, for the disruption. February, I published 2 books. That's partly how I bounced back. One is Thrive, it's called Thrive. Subtitle is How Leaders Can Take Advantage of Digital Technology to Avoid Disruption, right? A month later, COVID happens and lockdown.
What perfect timing for you.
Right? But then I get disrupted because the world is disrupted. And then a couple of months later, guess who is called by a listed company to come and run a division? And I'm going to be the only staff member. And I was.
Digital transformation.
And now that listed company is going for the hood. So they send me to go into the hood, to go and...
So you're still working with them now?
No. Mm-hmm. I fought with them as well. I fight with a lot of people. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. It wasn't intentional.
Okay.
Right? And look, I'm saying that just to add meat to our conversation here.
No,
it wasn't
cool.
intentional, but just like how you asked me is there hope, and I said no. Sometimes I will say things that are controversial, and most of the time they are true. So anyway, much love to Gigi Alcock. He's my friend. He's the one that hooked me up with that gig. Gigi Alcock is a genius in terms of township economy. I mean, he's the Casinomics guy, literally, right? So anyway, we go into the hood. Things have changed. KK is a digital transformation specialist. I'm an innovator. And so I can tell you what's going to happen in 2 years' time, my friend, if you want to listen to me. And so I did, because we had hit the ground running. We interacted with more than 5,000 spaza shop owners. And so I just need to have 5-10 conversations with people. Then I know what's going on. I'm not saying in swimming blind. Yes, in swimming blind, but that's not what I'm saying.
You're saying it.
So anyway, and then I report back to say, no, okay, we've done all of this work. Gigi and the team, amazing stuff. So now, and I'm there with them in the field. So now I take the stuff and analyze.
You're analyzing.
I'm analyzing. And I'm analyzing using information that we collected because they didn't believe me without the information, right? I didn't have information on my own, right? But because I can deduce, I can calculate, I can determine, right? I had done that, did my presentations to the board, et cetera. We did work for a couple of months. I'm like, no. And they say, cool, because we believe you, we believe there might be an issue, let's go and do some research. Then we do research twice. It comes out the same. People are not going to buy this thing. I said, I told you. You want them to buy this thing? This is what it needs to look like. I give them 2 versions of it, of what it needs to look like. They say no. Goodbye, KK. And that was it. I released another book.
Were you right, though?
Yes, I was. Because they shut the business down. It wasn't working. Shut the business down, and they sold off the IP. It was their IP because the larger business is running predominantly off of that model to this day. They were trying this for a different economy, for a different sector. So they took the IP, let's call it, adjusted it for the purpose of the township. I knew it wasn't going to work. Or the signs, the lead indicators, my friend. The lead indicators that showed me that, no, this thing is not going to work. Scientific innovation principles that I've learned from people that I work with, that I've been mentored by, had shown me. Like, I can literally put my glasses on, the right filter that is, and I can see if something is going to work. Not necessarily with precision, but using that formula to calculate. I can see, no, maybe we've got 80%.
Okay.
Right? Because of 1, 2, 3. And then it didn't work as a result. Not because of what I said, but we did research twice, and we went in the market twice again to try and fix it.
And then ignored the results.
They ignored the indicators.
All right. So I'm curious. This one is going to be a personal one for you, actually.
Okay.
Do you ever sit and think that maybe if I'm right, it could be a communication thing with the people receiving my communication, and I could have gone a little bit further if I wasn't, I don't know if it was aggression that you used or what, but if I had applied a bit of tact in how I communicate and influence.
Look, I hear you.
Different.
I've asked myself that question multiple times, and I have to, right? Like we all have to
reflect. Yeah.
What does come up? Because I own my mistakes. I own the problems I create, right? I'm a seriously tough guy, right? I may not look like it, but
it does look like
does it? Like, but nkhuliso ukoko, abokoko, nabo mama baning. So I'm soft in general.
So you grew up around
grannies, mummies, aunties, cousins who were girls who looked after me. When I went to Jozi, big up to Lolo, Louisa, my cousin, Louisa Malepo. She, when I went to college, I lived with her. And so her friends were around me. So I've been brought up by ladies. My mom, peace to her. My mom's still alive. We're not on good terms right now, partly because of what I want to tell you now. I may be soft, but there's not enough tough men out there. Okay? I'm a disciplinarian by nature. I'm a Virgo, and I've got to learn a lot of things about my profile as well, right? For example, I'm a catalyst, I'm a starter, I'm a creative, and so I get to leave people behind a lot because we've got goals that we want to achieve. We've got things that we want to fix. I'm a strategist. I know if we don't do this, things is not going to work. So essentially, I'm like, if we keep doing this, it's not going to work.
At home.
Well, I'm just saying.
You gotta switch off the coach cap.
No, I hear you. Yes, I agree with you. But you read throughout my books, you look at everything I've said before. I cannot separate professional and personal because I'm the same guy. You see this? This is who I am at home. Literally.
That's intense, bro.
It's not as intense if you realize the other side of the truth. Here's the thing. Do you remember what we said about value proposition?
Yeah.
You see, that's one of the components or one of the examples of when you are on the other side of the truth. Right?
Yeah.
Okay? If I play the same book as everyone else, I'm going to be the same as everyone else. You get what I'm saying? I'm not who I am because I'm trying to be different, but this is who I am. And who I am, I will say nice, I will be nice for as long as I need to be nice. But there's going to come a point where I'm like, being nice doesn't get me anything. It doesn't get us anywhere, right? Have you worked for a listed company where you're the sole person responsible for multi-millions?
No.
I have to be proactive and have to be stern. I have to be assertive, etc. I cannot be the weaker versions of those things I just said, right? But at the same time, I'm a cool dude. I'm a super cool dude. People cannot believe the amount of things that I do relative to how just chilled I look because I can be. I am that guy. I'm getting to the point, right? And so it'll get to a point where I'm like, no, but we've been trying this way, right?
It's not working.
It's not working. So now what happens? What happens when you get to a point where things that you're trying to do are
Someone has to make a decision.
Yeah, but maybe before that, you may increase the intensity of the discussion. You get it? You may speak a lot more assertively and so forth. So it will get to that point quite a lot, okay? In the same way that if I'm working with an entrepreneur and they're lucky I wait until 6 months, I'm like, yo, it's been 6 months, bro. And you've been saying yes since day one. You've been promising me since day one. So this is who I am, by the way. This is how the sessions go. You said you're going to do it right away. It's 6 months now. So are you saying at that level of 6 months, I must continue with the same niceness? No,
let's try.
No. I'm done. I am done. If we don't fix it and we don't do this, I'm not going to come here anymore. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? I'm not going to call you. I'm not going to, that's what it's going to be about. And so every time I've gotten hit hard in my face, I've fallen, backstabbed or whatever, it's because it's gotten to that point. Dude, I'm a man of principles. I'm a man of honor. It's what I pursue. I'm not saying that's what I'm made of. It's what I pursue. And in my pursuit of those things, I'm not going to let being nice get in the way of doing the right thing, which is to communicate what I need to communicate. Right?
I'm trying to see how I frame this, and it makes sense in my head as I say.
Okay, cool. Let me try. Let me try one more.
Yeah.
So, it then gets to a point where I guess the intensity of the clash happens between KK and the rest of the world. It's like how the industry treats me, right? Mm-hmm. People like you should have seen me a lot more active in the industry. Okay, mm-hmm. But I'm not. Why? Because I saw it 15 years ago that it's not working. I told them then, it's not working. They don't like me to this day. Now, who's wrong? Now, I gotta kiss butt? No, I'm not that guy. I don't kiss butt. I'm a man of principle. I'm a man of truth. Those are the things that I pursue. I will present the truth to you. Mm. If you sell me something different, chances are, we're not gonna be...
No, KK, this one is another challenge. I want you to think about it. But don't you think, as good as you are, because you are good, you are talented,
thanks.
That trait could be the one that burns some bridges along the way that don't need to be burned?
No, I'm going to say no because I don't burn bridges, my friend. I don't burn bridges.
But there's deals that get shut.
It's not me who burned them. It's not me.
Explain.
People can't take truth. People can't take challenge, right? And when you look like me, right, and you go into the places that I go into, okay, you get undermined a lot more. Yeah. I have to stand for myself. I have to stand for my people.
I think there's environments where you are limited in what you can control. I get that.
I hear you. Can I just quickly say something?
Yeah.
In almost all cases, people come back to me and say, you were right. Sorry we acted that way. You were right and we should have listened to you.
You gave us one example already.
So back in the day, NYDA would give you this massive, big certificate that you hang on the wall when you're a service provider. And I think GEP did the same thing.
Yeah.
When I fought with them, I took those certificates back. That was 15 years ago.
So, and you call that not burning bridges?
No, it was to make a stand, my friend. And you know what? 3 months later, NYDA had one of those big stops where they didn't operate for something like 6 months. Guess how many businesses shut down that were service providers? As I was handing over the certificates to them, I said to them, what you guys are doing is ineffective, and it's going to affect these guys, because we were all in one of those meetings where service providers are all in the game, right? They're all there, present. And they did, my friend.
You did it in front of other service providers?
Yeah. To show what I've been telling them, no, I'm going to go and do this. And it wasn't done with anger. No, it was done properly. I stand for this.
You become like that pioneer that has all the arrows on their back and we just walk behind you without the scars.
So, yeah, it's one of those. But what I've come to appreciate, right?
Yeah.
Leave my warriorness and my fighting on one side. The other side is I'm a scientist. I'm supposed to go first. I'm supposed to lead. And in leading, I will fail multiple times because there's very few people to look up to and to talk to and say, hey, Ndando or Michael, I need help here. Please come through, right? There's very few. And so I've accepted that I'm going to be a scientist, that in my line of work, I must continue leading as much as I can. Bring out the books. I've been a sales trainer for more than 15 years. I'm only bringing my sales book out now. I need to show people, right? I've raised easily more than 100 million rand in terms of the type of deals I've done. As I mentioned, I've achieved, I guess, a reasonable net worth a few times because I am that guy. I'll go out. I live on the edge in terms of work. Because I want to break those boundaries. Like there's a lot of boundaries to be broken. And so when you do that, you need to accept that you are going to accept people. right? In some cases, it's not
You
like
will upset a lot.
it's not like I go around upsetting people because I want to do that. No, it's just I want to make a point. I want to make a point when a point needs to be made. I'll put out my book like I did a month before COVID, and I say,
Okay.
cool. You see, guys, this is what I meant, right? And yeah, sorry.
Let me throw this. I think I have a better way and not of reframing the question that I was having for you. Let's flip it to the positive side of the trade.
Yeah.
I want you to speak to someone who is a nice guy where they shouldn't be, and they can't turn off that switch.
They can't turn off being nice.
Yeah.
I can't help them instantly, but I know something that can help them gradually.
Okay.
Two things. One is one of the most difficult things to appreciate as a human being, which is your purpose. What are you here for, right? And I'm saying it's difficult for people to choose one because you choose your own purpose. You know that.
Yeah.
You may have been born with one, but the reason why we
can choose to
feel
ignore.
it. Yes, we choose to ignore, but when we do choose to go for it with intent, to discover it, right? You feel it, right? That feeling you feel it's like,
Yeah.
because it's like what it always has been, and you aligning with it. Okay? If someone who feels that they don't know how to stop being nice, this is not necessarily a direct answer, but if you start with your purpose as the first thing, and the second thing is what is the specific thing you want to achieve, those two things will teach you that certain things you shouldn't do. And it teaches you that certain things you need to learn how to do, whether that's effective communication, being assertive, being creative, being a leader, anything you can think of. When you do those things from a place of, this is why I'm on this earth, and that person and these people won't stop me, I'm right. Like being nice doesn't become a decision you have to struggle with. You don't struggle with it because you automatically do the thing you're supposed to do. And sometimes it means being nice. But
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. But in certain cases, it means it won't get you anywhere.
Man.
Lastly, it won't get us anywhere as Africans to continue being nice with this economy that's not treating us well. And I'm not talking about looting. I'm talking about being nice. We are too nice. Yeah? It's one of the situations. And therefore, we need to discover, what do we want to achieve? Right? And why? Well, I think we all know the why. Nobody deserves to live in poverty and in hunger.
In the continent, yeah.
Right?
In the world.
In the world. So that's our purpose as a collective. We don't know what goal we want to achieve. If we have those two things, and we agree collectively, we will stop being nice when we don't have to be nice.
Then talk to your book.
So
How
the
do
A
people
game.
find the book, and what are the principles that you're teaching there?
So as a creative, as someone who loves to problem solve, about more than 10 years ago, I came up with a principle called the 8 steps of selling, the 8-step sales process, which hundreds of entrepreneurs have gone through it, and salespeople. This is before the work that comes from the deal maker. So
Okay.
I took these 8 principles that I've been teaching for many years, and then I held a webinar, which I usually do, but this one I held with company partners, Ilana, big up to her, in Cape Town, but it was done virtually. The feedback I got, this was 4 months ago, 5 months ago, the feedback I got was, yo, we need the stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm going to write the book. And so I wrote the book to teach people these 8 steps of successful selling, 8-step sales process. It literally teaches you how to sell. It teaches you about why we need to understand the importance of selling, why selling is important to each and every one of us. regardless of what you do, because we're selling every day. And then the minute you wake up, the minute you start communicating with other people, that you are selling, right? And so the main objective that I'm trying to achieve with that book is to teach and to help existing salespeople, small business owners who don't know how to sell in their teams, and leaders of sales teams to turn sales chaos into predictable revenue. In short, yeah.
The book is out now, so what we're gonna do, we'll do another part 2, focusing exclusively on sales.
I love that.
Gaining the sales advantage. Cool.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks in advance.
It's coming. Do you have something to say to someone maybe who was listening? I think this was heavy. This will be heavy, especially for Mr. Nice Guy listening.
Yeah.
Because you are not afraid to walk into a room blazing. All guns blazing.
No, I'm not, especially if a change needs to be made, right? Sometimes shock therapy works because it gets you the attention. We're always on our phones now, right? And so the shock therapy is purely a strategic component, right? And it's not like I do it everywhere, because sometimes you do it, you're gonna push people away. So sometimes I don't do it when it's not necessary. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not afraid. And it was one of the things that I discovered in my early 20s, that I had to get rid of fear. That I actually discovered that I'm not somebody with fear, and sometimes it gets me in trouble because I do go into places sometimes without not having double checked. You know what I mean? Like, I'm that guy, as I said, I'm a scientist. Next thing you know, things explode, right? Because you mix the wrong chemicals together, that kind of thing, right? But lack of fear. Find your purpose. Look at where you need to go, what you want to achieve. It'll show you the kind of person you need to be.
Wonderful. Wonderful, man. Thank you. And
thank you, Dan.
Thank you for hanging with us till this time. We will see you in the next episode. Let us know what you think and any question that you have that he should answer when he comes back. So we'll be looking forward to those comments and questions. Thank you.